Libra, hello and welcome to your reading for the week of August 17th through to the 23rd. Thank you so much to my subscribers for being here. It means so much to me that you guys come and watch my videos. Please give this video a like, share it with another Libra that you love, and to those of you all just joining, come on down. I give weekly readings and I'm so glad that you're here. Let's tap in. So Libra, I'm going to pull from the Work Your Light Oracle. It just feels like the end of season, you guys are getting a test of your social life and how you can start to bring your inner child out to play. We have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. You are literally laying a plan for Aquarius season, my Libras. So whatever it is that is bringing you joy, and I feel that there's going to be a soul tribe gathering around whatever it is that you're working on now. And maybe you can't see it. Maybe it's just you're laying the foundation, you're planting the seeds, you're imagining what could be. We have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth that's happening. So Libra, what are you guys working on? And this week might actually be giving huge dips and huge leaps forward in momentum from whatever you've started from the seed of Leo season, when we were reworking on how to work with ourselves when we enter the social sphere, when we go out to play, when we go out to socialize. I have the card, Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? And I love this card. I actually pulled this in a reading earlier today for myself. I'm a Libra. We see that this girl is gazing out at a beautiful horizon while she sits dressed in, normal tunic. But on her, it's just this amazing cape that fits with the landscape. It fits with the cosmos. So for my Libras who are working on something bigger than what they've ever created, just understand that it's coming together, and getting extra clear on what it is that your soul is calling for you to create is something that I'm going to actually be bringing into a project starting September 2nd. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, be sure to join so that you can join me live for 10 days with a 10-day Miracle Maker course. I interviewed April Sparks of Minopon Tarot, and she mentioned that this is something that Chris Reck did, which actually got her to join his channel. It helped her to manifest from a place of never having really taken control of her reality. We're going to start it on the new moon, 11 degrees Virgo, and we're going to make sure that we are seeding intentions for our life to move forward. Actually, this is on the 2nd of September, but when the sun is at 11 degrees Virgo. So we're really going to have our feelings out. It's really going to show up for us. And we see here in this deep replenishment card, there is a moon. There is a waxing moon, perhaps. So this will be something that into the future, you're going to feel held from whatever it is that you're willing to establish with these cycles moving into Virgo season. But as we conclude Leo season, one last card, we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. And wow, on this card we see it's almost like this version of ourselves sets out on a grand extravagant trip after we decide that we want to do it. But we didn't see these snakes and we didn't see this darkness before the stargate, but there's lightning. And I have said about this full moon happening on Monday, the 19th of August, 27-degree full moon in Aquarius, it's going to be like lightning striking a bottle twice. So we want to be sure that we know what we're releasing, that we are ready to release that which has not served us. And emotionally, when we enter the scene of our social life, because it is ruling the 11th house, we are in the season of the inner child. But for Libras, Leo is our 11th house. So we're doing a deep cleanse, a deep upgrade of going out into the public and how we treat ourselves, how we talk to ourselves. That was the start of Leo season, and as we move into this third decan, we're already there, but we're going to move into the final degrees, the decision-making degrees, the degrees of listening to our intuition and letting our thoughts take a back seat to how our feelings feel. All the way up to 0 degrees Virgo, we're going to be planting seeds for this upcoming Aquarius season. So with Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, I have the lion and the deer. We can be both. We can be both a lion and a deer. We can maintain our delicacy, our fragility, our innocence, and we can emerge into the world confident. And we can be leaders while also having our inner child be the one that's making the final decisions. The cloak of Christ with Lemuria. And there's a 4 on there representing the sun is fully up, y'all. Representing our vibration that we are creating on earth. It's heavenly to be around people who are in touch with their inner child, because they're not competing with you. They're not snarky. They're not rude. They're not condescending. And the world needs more of us Libras tapped into that. With Black Moon Lilith and the South Node going through our sign, through those first degrees of how we relate to ourself on a regular basis with our identity. For those of my Libra sons, find Libra in your chart. Where is the sun in your chart? This is how we are changing up how we're relating to ourselves, and that South Node is making sure of it. It's taking the zipper and just letting us emerge from this cocoon that we've been in. Ooh, I love how these, I usually don't like this card, but I love how these two match. Answer the call and let love transform. So what would you do if you loved yourself this week, Libra? If you loved yourself so much, what would you do for yourself to move your projects forward, to be kinder to yourself when you go out into the world, to have your heart on speed dial? Because there are always, as things emerge, as things come up, we want to have things in our life. We want to make changes. We want to feel and look amazing. Who's the first person we call whenever we go to make those changes? And how can we shift that to be aligned with ourselves first? We get our heart's opinion, and then knowing that we take that step forward, and perhaps down the line we get that feedback from the bestie, the mom, the in-law, the partner, the beloved that we usually might go to. When we retain our sense of sovereignty, our sense of self, we become that much more attractive. Because sometimes what I've noticed being a Libra, after we manifest something, we kind of give too much of ourselves to it. We have to balance those scales and find that line, that boundary. Deep replenishment and beyond death life. And I love this. It's like the two selves, if this is us with both of the scales, both sides of the scales, it's like we're meeting each other, self to self. And the beyond death life has a 1 on it. And this line in the Deer card actually has a 22 on it, hinting at Jupiter Day, where Mercury is retrograded at 23 degrees Leo. And there will be a sense of pausing, finding that boundary, finding that balance between the reality that we've been living and the reality that we would like to create for ourselves. And with this initiation card, let's see what Rumi has to say. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. This does feel like by the time we hit that 1 degree of Virgo season, with the moon starting its day at 21 degrees Aries, this is 8th house to Virgo. So this is actually us taking our opposing energy, that North Node energy, deciding that we believe in ourselves, in our reality, and then our reality showing us, just to start, how we reflect back to ourselves. Oh, I love this. We have 1. So that's perfect. It's like the two halves of us, the two scales. We realize that it's one scale, and that is a boundary in itself. We can give to others as long as we're balanced, and this makes us whole. We don't have to be fragmented. We don't have to be the other half to someone. Libra, we can be fully whole, fully ourselves, and attract love from that place of fully loving ourselves. That's what Leo season hopefully has taught us when we go out into society to go and play, that we fully love who we are, regardless of who's going to say yes or no to us. We have the animal with the lion and the deer. I love this. And the grandmother of Jesus. So the animal card says to howl at the moon. The Buddha supposedly did that according to this deck. The Buddha, once he attained enlightenment, he howled at the moon to open our eyes underwater. I actually went to the ocean and did this after pulling this card. And it's amazing how we close our eyes underwater. And I had a very deep fear when I moved to the islands of being in the water, of being in the ocean. And the ocean is a metaphor for life. So we have the self. How perfect. And I feel that with Lemuria, creating heaven on earth in the cloak of Christ, we're starting to recognize how we want to appear in the world, the vibration that we want to impart onto others, how we want for others to feel when they're around us, but we're not posing. We're not doing it for other people. We're doing it to maintain our sense of self. And our selfhood is going to be so important, because when we are in touch and in tune with ourselves, it's easier to weave through the many options of life. I just explained to someone on my TikTok actually that 4D is moving through time and space to give ourselves that loving affirmation. And Pisces, that Neptunian energy, is the exaltation of Venus. So for those of my Libras wanting a deeper rumination on this energy, go watch Pisces reading. But for my Libras, we have a decision to make about who we want to be, how we want to show up, and the truth of ourselves. Answering the call means that maybe we have to put some people on pause, some projects on pause that we were otherwise going to fully lend ourselves to, we were going to be fully available for, and then disrupt those scales. We were going to show up 100% for someone else's project when really we know from Leo season exactly what we want to create, how we want our heart to shine in the world. And it's almost like Virgo season is going to test that to make sure that you're ready for the next things in your life. We have the Eternal Child and the Lover. So the Eternal Child is coming with deep replenishment and beyond death life. And this card speaks to like the shadow being like Hollywood, needing to constantly go out and have connections, relationships with people just to glow, to be seen as radiant, to have a circle of people around that reflect back what you want to be. And I sense that there's also this ability with these two cards of this merging, this meeting of the creative parts of ourselves that we might maybe give up. We can come to mother that. We can give ourselves both parts of this spectrum, and maybe we'll actually go out and be around other people, be around mothers, be around friends who are parents, and we're going to see them with their kids, and we're going to understand that there are parts of us that we see in everybody around us. And in order to choose ourselves continuously, we just need to be there for our heart. We need to know what our heart wants so that we're not, chatting. We need to use the bathroom or something. This happens to me a lot, and it's usually a small test of me to see, for my heart to be like, hey, are you here? Can you hear me right now? And usually I have to like interrupt conversation or pause whatever it is I was doing to appear pleasing to someone else in order to reclaim my eternal child. With the initiation, the one and the lover, for my Libras looking for love, it just feels like maybe you're in a relationship that can reach a new depth. Maybe you're calling in romance, and maybe Leo season has shown you how to romance yourself and to romance your life. And this has made you feel ready for love. And it's not going to come from a place of, oh, I want someone so bad. And when you get them, you're bored of them. That usually is a low vibrational connection. That's usually a connection where you just needed someone to prove to you that you were lovable. You are divine, Libra. So you don't need anyone to prove anything to you. You can just look in the mirror and affirm yourself and rub coconut oil over your body and affirm that you are divine, and you will feel it, okay? And for those of my Libras who are in that relationship that can go to a deeper chapter, it's going to be in this Virgo season. It's going to be a lot of our subconscious coming to the surface and showing itself, showing us what it is that we need to do to harvest from the divine, this divine intelligence of seeding the light, of tapping into our animal nature, of our instincts. How many of my Libras are still wearing fragrance? Check out any oil-based perfume, because fragrance is how we understand who our mate is. It's actually how we understand who we like to be around versus who we don't. All these dating apps are nonsense, and I've known it from a very long time, even before I met my husband, when I was meeting people and I was like, this is crazy. I was just going off of a picture, and then, we need to access our olfactory senses, our ability to smell, to understand if we like who we're around. If they cover themselves up with all sorts of, plastics, they're essentially plastics. A lot of these alcohol-based fragrances are coated in plastic, and then you're connecting intimately. It's just bad news bears. So from the Sacred Rose Oracle, my point is get a natural fragrance, Libra, and move into the world with that. Get rid of all your other stuff. Make sure you're doing your research on what it is that you're putting on the surface of your skin, as our skin is our largest organ. We have the Holy Grail and trust the seasons. Stop the endless searching, inner quest, and embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. So Libra, we are hitting a growth spurt from a soul level. So we need to make sure that we are making sure our body is ready for it, that we are giving ourselves during this 12th house transit adequate rest, adequate nutrition. We have snacks on deck. We are like looking like Capricorn, and we got the whole charcuterie board. I'm plant-based, but I could still have a whole platter filled with fresh fruits and fragrant, aromatic, essentially flowers. All fruits are flowers. That's why I paint them. So my Libras, check out this upcoming Miracle Maker Camp. It's going to start September 2nd, this new moon in Virgo. And until then, aloha.